Namaste, everyone. Welcome to today's session. So, we are towards this journey of inner transformation. And in this journey of inner transformation, we are doing many things. So, for example, we started with the ultimate law by which our lives are being governed, that is, law of karma. And there were like four sessions which were with respect to our life of like the daily life problems what we are facing, and also mainly the root cause of why we are facing this part, why we have this lot of times unrealistic desires, unrealistic ideas, ideation, lack of contact with reality, and even lack of contact with our own self. A lot of times we forget who we are, or a lot of times we try to over define ourselves. So, with respect to yoga, if you really look deep down into the yoga, you will find there are a lot of ultimate spiritual findings where a lot of times the medical science was not able to answer. Now, the problem is most of the times, if you look by the logic of it, you might feel that it doesn't make sense. So, unless and until you experience it by yourself on the first hand basis, then only you will able to feel it. Most of the times what I have come across is people rely too much on the books. They rely too much on the people's experiences rather than they do things themselves. Mainly what I have also come across is there is one great insecurity in all of us, and that is a kind of insecurity of missing things out, like what we say in the Gen Z term FOMO, like fear of missing out. But to be more precise, many a times you just have that anxiety, constant anxiety that I'm not doing things productively. I'm not able to focus on certain things, and time is running out. So you choose things very well where you want to invest your time, but the mind plays a lot of games with us. So what actually happens is you end up thinking about it, but not doing anything on it. If you really think about it, you will understand this part that 60% of your time was wasted in terms of the thought process and making a decision. And rest 40% was the action part. And in the action also, you will come across the efficiency was not good because you're constantly thinking about something else. And that's the reason why most of the people suffer. See, we need to understand suffering is a very subjective term. Things what you are suffering right now might not be suffering for other people. So, for what other people are going through, many a times you don't feel relatable to that. Somewhere down the line, everything boils down to this one particular concept of individuality. So, as you and me are different, people are different, but at the same time, they experiences they how they experience life is also very different. So, people who are better communicators in terms of the words, who become great writers, not necessarily their perception might be good or perception might be accurate, but because the concepts are relatable to us, that's the reason why we love reading books, or we love watching something, we love consuming content. It is because of that part. Okay. And somewhere down the line we also like that it is some sense of gratification what we feel, some sense of achievement what we feel. So somewhere down the line we need to break free all these things and then move on with our life. In this chaos where there is things experienced differently for different people, at the same time you have to also acknowledge that you and the other person are one, by the principle that you have the same essence of God what they possess. What so your essence of God and their essence of God is the same. So technically speaking, there is no difference, but not technically speaking, there is a lot of difference in terms of your personality, your bodies are different, everything is different. So most of the times, people are not able to digest these things because they are ruled by their senses. The senses are something which also makes us happy, but at the same time, when you know the truth, or when you are walking on the path of exploring truth, exploring spirituality, exploring who you are in reality, this becomes depression. This sense of gratification because of your senses becomes meaningless. Then the joy what you feel is not long lasting. And this is what when I so This is not an official term, to be more precise, but I used to say this. This is what I call a spiritual depression, you know. And spiritual depression is very common in on spiritual path. You realize that in spite of having a guru or in spite of knowing things, you still don't feel joy. That's the reason. First and foremost, what is required is to bring joy within your hearts. Unless and until you don't have that joy and happiness, a lot of things becomes very monotonous. It becomes, I would like to say, not there is no joy in terms of your work. Things becomes meaningless. Many a times the life becomes meaningless. You don't like the things what you used to like. All these things hits you very hard, and when the reality hits you hard, you start questioning even your existence. So, for example, with me, it happened, and I was just thinking about this, that my parents, before they had me, they were not thinking in their head that Janmesh is going to be born, right? So they accepted who was coming. People have this preconceived ideas many a times, but many a times they have to accept who is coming, male, female, like however the person is going to come. And because there is a huge probability of like things how to happen, like not necessarily the child might be similar to the parents, even in terms of morphological characters, even in terms of the discipline and intelligence and other aspects. So somewhere down the line, it is just nothing but game of probability, and a lot of questions what we have are not being answered just by this logical analysis and logical reasoning. That's the reason why we need to divert our attention towards expansion of something which is within us, which is sacred, which is permanent, to be more precise. Because see, if you really see in your life, happiness is not permanent. I mean, not yet, to be more precise. Then your youth is not permanent. Your body is not permanent. The food what you eat is not permanent. Thoughts what you have is not permanent. The emotions what you feel is not permanent. Even the life of your loved ones is not permanent. Because of all these things, we undergo a lot of plus and minus things in our life. So with the joy and happiness in our relationships, a lot of times when we lose someone who is very close to us, we feel that sadness and grief. And a lot of times it is very difficult for us to even cope up with that, to come out of that sad part. And somewhere down the line, things many a times do not resonate with us, especially when someone gives you false advices, especially when someone is trying to convince you or say something. Most of the times your guard is up because you are not interested in that part. Your energy is into chaos. This inner chaos and inner noise is so intense that it directly many a times stops you from feeling that joy and happiness, but it also triggers that questioning effect, many a times when you start actually discovering that self. So in my experiences, that depression stage, that phase is also important for you to get a reality check and to be grateful and express your gratitude on regular basis. Because today, the topic for today is Asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. And the solutions for Asteya are very much aligned to our expansion of the consciousness. Or rather, I would like to term this part as freedom towards the divinity. Because we ourselves, we are slaves of our thoughts, emotions, our senses, everything. The day we realize this part, and Asteya is one thing which can actually help you to do that. So non-stealing. So we are going to actually discuss that. So as usual, this is coming from Patanjali Yoga Sutras. We are on the first part of Yamas, and in Yamas we have covered already the Ahimsa and Satya. So today is the topic of Asteya. Asteya simply means non-stealing. So every time I say Asteya, Asteya in your head should directly translate to non-stealing. Okay. So, as we have mentioned before also, so we'll start our session with a small prayer. Okay. So, keep your tongue to your palate. So, curl your tongue up to your palate, touch the tip of the tongue on your palate. Keep your spine straight. Focus your attention on breathing. Take a deep breath. Air is gushing into your system. Hold. Exhale slowly. Air is coming out of your system. Hold. Slowly and gently inhale deeply. Hold. Slowly and gently exhale slowly. Hold. Normalize your breathing. Focus your attention on top of your head. Put your hands in front of your heart in Namaste position. You can repeat after me. Salutation to the Supreme Being. Salutation to Divine Father, Mother. We the souls humbly invoke for your divine blessings, divine healing energy, divine help, and divine protection. Thank you for your priceless blessings. Thank you for this compassionate, purifying light and soothing, healing energies. Thank you for blessing us with immense amount of internal strength, inner power to overcome our weaknesses and vices, to overcome all the resistances and conditionings. Thank you for blessing us with good health, happiness, spirituality, prosperity, and abundance, with thanks and in full faith. Salutation to all the great ones. Salutation to all the great souls who have descended on earth to give us the teachings, to give us the light of God. Salutation to your Guru. If you have any Guru in your life, think about your Guru. Think about all the people who have helped you to be what you are till now. Salutation to Grandmaster Chua Kok Sui, Lord Mahaguruji Mailing, Buddha Kuan Yin, Buddha Shakyamuni. To all the holy masters, holy angels, archangels, healing gurus, healing ministers, and violet devas. Thank you for your priceless blessings. Thank you for this compassionate, purifying light and soothing, healing energies. Thank you for empowering us with inner strength to overcome our weaknesses. Thank you for blessing us with good and compassionate heart. Thank you for your help and protection. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for this light. With thanks and in full faith. Thank you for blessing us with good health, happiness, peace, inner peace, joy, stillness, expansion of consciousness, spirituality, evolution, prosperity, and abundance. Thank you. Thank you for blessing us with self-mastery, with thanks and in full faith. As your will, so be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. Take a deep breath. Put a smile on your face. Slowly and gently exhale. Slowly and gently open your eyes with a smile. Take your time. Namaste, everyone. Let's start with our today's session. So, today's topic is Asteya. Asteya means non stealing. Let me be very clear from today. If you are here on this video for exploration about spirituality, if you are here to just know about things, know about few things here and there, if you are here to take references and just listen, please pause the video, close the channel. There is no need to listen to me, but there is no need to listen to anything like that. I am very firm, loud, and clear. If and only if you want to have growth in your life, if you are ready to evolve, I mean, see, you are evolving, but there is a difference in terms of quantity and quality. Okay. If you are not hurt by certain sayings and certain things, many a times our fragile ego cannot handle certain things. If you are very open for reality checks, and if you are very open to work on yourself, and you accept this part that there is something within me which can be improved on, which can be worked on, then you are most welcome to attend this type of a session. See, it's not a joke. And what I have come across over a period of years is people do window shopping. Like they speak Patanjali Yoga Sutras as if they know about it. You cannot know. I am still speaking about it, and I can also tell you that I am not perfect. I also don't know clearly. Okay. I am going to express myself with my limited understanding and opinions with respect to references of the great ones, what I think. Okay. At the same time, I'm going to refer the original text of Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And apart from that, you are open for criticism. You are open to take my opinions or reject them. As I firmly believe, like my guru says, and like my guru has taught us, that all of us are blessed with good minds. We are blessed with this particular quality to think. God has blessed us with a quality to think, then we are supposed to think. But we are supposed to think in a good way, in a polite way, in the form where we are not rejecting anything blindly, we are not accepting anything blindly. Because if you reject anything blindly or accept anything blindly, that proves that you are mentally lazy. You don't want to think. And that's the reason why most of us, we require guidance. Even we require guru because we are mentally lazy, because we don't want to explore. This is the harsh truth. So if you think about it, you are always welcome to have your opinion. You are always welcome to do certain things. Okay. Also, you need to understand this one basic pattern of human nature, which is we live our life based on emotions. Like there is passion within us, there is obsession over things, there is a lot of stubbornness within us where, we are kind of very passionate to become rich and do this and do that. And constantly we are in the movement, constantly we are in the motion. If not your bodies, but your mind, your energy, your thoughts, everything is into motion. Because that's the law of vibration, everything is into motion. But the problem is, we forget our true nature in that chaos. A lot of things are constructively nice, looks constructively nice for you. But if you go deep down within to discover that why even you are doing that, why is the main reason of your action, you will find emptiness. You won't be able to even answer that simple question for your own self. So upcoming, all the sessions are going to question everything about your life, what you know, related to your existence, related to even your personality, everything. So that is the reason why I'm giving you a warning just before starting with this. Because see, most of the people till ahimsa and satya, everything is fine. Everything people like, we understand, we agree on all these things. We should do this and that. Yeah, externally everyone is good, but internally no one wants to change. Why there is no desire to change is because there is no vision. Why there is no vision? Because you have no understanding that what can be beyond. Why there is no understanding? Because you are mentally lazy, because you don't want to explore. And this is the case with most of us. Even it was validated with me also. It took good amount of time for me to even start my journey or even start working on myself. A lot of times, a lot of people, they still they cannot digest this fact that, like I speak on all these topics. The reason is because they are still associated in their head related to me what I was 10 years back. 10 years is a long time, and when you are evolving, the way time flows for you, it is quite different than other people. You might find, your friends are still at that place and they are still laughing on the same jokes, but when you are evolving, many a times you feel that it's not relatable to you anymore. That's the most difficult part. In that chaos, you have to put a smile on your face and you need to still go, you know. So let's start with our main sutra of today, Asteya. So this is something very crucial. This is basically the yogic science of non-stealing. So according to the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, all the traditional commentaries and all the great masters who have done their commentaries, this is the third Yama of this Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So first two were Ahimsa and Satya. Third is non-stealing. So if you just think about non-stealing at the first glance, it appears very simple. Simple like, do not steal. That's it. But to be more precise, the sage Patanjali wants to point or wants to mean something deeper than this superficial meaning regarding stealing of objects and something like that. Now pay a very close attention to my words. This is very important. Asteya fundamentally is actually about your evolution. It is actually about the greed what you have within yourself, that mindset of lack, like something is missing, lack, insecurity regarding few things. There is an unconscious taking kind of personality what all of us have developed, and it also means the basic violation with respect to the energy body. So it disrupts the energy harmony between different emotions and different thoughts. It is not a social thing. It is not an ethical thing, to be more precise. It is actually a deeper and inner purification of your consciousness, of your soul, from the feeling of inner insufficiency, inner greed. Now, just a statement to reflect. Nothing on this planet is given free of cost. I'm going to repeat this. Nothing on this planet is given for free. In your life, never ever accept things which are for free. Do not bargain with the shopkeepers. Do not do all these trivial things. Forget about it. If this thing, the price is different, the shopkeeper is overcharging, then don't buy. Go to some other place. Don't tell him, this place, the rate is very low. He is not asking for your opinion. Then you don't waste your energy, keep your mouth shut. Okay. This is very fundamentally important for us to understand. That stealing does not mean to steal something. It is far deeper in terms of the understanding part. So if you actually reflect on word by word of the main sutra of Asteya, so it is like Asteya, Aste, then it will come Pratishtayam. So Pratishtayam is when someone is firmly establishing that concept of non-stealing. Then Sarva means all. Ratna means jewels or treasures. Upasthanam means it will come naturally to you or it will become available to you. So when I look at this meaning in a deeper level, it actually means that when one, you and me, a person like an individual, becomes firmly established with the idea and the concept of non-stealing and starts applying in their life, all the treasures, all the ratnas, all the jewels, all the treasures, they naturally come to you. In other words, Patanjali, what he means is actually a person who no longer steals from life becomes abundant inwardly. From inside, the person will start feeling that abundance. And abundance and prosperity actually flows naturally to that person. Is this part clear? So let's understand from a yogic perspective that what does stealing actually mean. The traditional yoga actually interprets, the interpretation is little different. Asteya, that is non-stealing, includes taking what which is not given to you, taking through deceit, exploitation, manipulation, and most importantly, when you acquire something out of your greed, right? This is the first layer of the meaning, superficial meaning. So if I go in the deeper level, it is a very subtle thing. Huh? Understand this. Stealing attention of other people, stealing energy of other people, stealing their time, stealing emotional freedom, taking credit of things what is not yours, exploiting someone's trust. Last but not the least, constant comparison and enviousness, which also results in jealousy. Even mentally desiring what does not belong to you, what belongs to another, is also a subtle form of asteya. It can become a subtle form of stealing. I hope this part is clear. Then let's move a little bit ahead and let's develop our understanding. So, most importantly, if you come across a lot of spiritual teachings, the spiritual teachings will be very abstract in nature. It will be like freedom from greed, contentment, what you have, having satisfaction in your life, traditionally living dharmically. So dharmic means spiritual justice, so living your life with justful action. Because what usually happens is the core idea, the core philosophy of stealing comes forward or arises within you because of greed. Because what happens is greed is strengthened the moment we are attached towards things and worldly objects and worldly desires, because of our ego, pride, low self-esteem, because restlessness. Greed can also come from irritability and restlessness. It can also come from constant anxiety, what you face. So, if I actually relate the topic of non-stealing with the modern medicine, with modern psychology, with modern neurosciences, so there is a classification which I have come up with. And based on my understanding, based on like different levels of understanding, I have developed this part of classification. And then let's actually go to the classification. And what I want you is you should reflect in your life that is something like this happening to you or not. Okay. So shall we start? Okay. First level is physical asteya. So what is the simple meaning behind this? Taking what is not yours. So what does that actually involve? It involves stealing of objects. It involves the using of pirated items or piracy. It involves cheating. It involves corruption. It also involves using things what are belonging to other people and using that without asking for their permission. This is called as physical aesthetic. Now, I want you to reflect on this with respect to your life. That in a subtle form, a lot of times you might come across things what you get for free, or many a times you don't pay for things properly. Many a times you go and get huge discounts and you start bargaining about certain things. Many a times you might use pirated softwares or pirated movies, or you see pirated movies, or watch, I would say, play pirated games. When you cheat, not only in your examination, but also with people. Think about it. So, with this physical asteya, in order to improve our life, what we need to practice is also very important. What we need to practice is a physical level of honesty. And also, when we are earning, it should be alignment with our own ethics and morals. So, ethical earning. And also, we need to start with a subtle form of respect for others' properties. So, for example, if you come across a spiritual person, you will never find that spiritual person in anger, throwing objects and doing all those things. Because what spiritual person thinks actually is that even non-living objects has some energy of God. Because that non-living object exists, that proves the existence of God also. And because it has some amount of energy of God, you're not allowed to disrespect even an object. Initially, it took some time for me to even understand that. But later on, I got to learn a lot about this part. So let's move ahead. We are done with the physical asteya. Let's move to emotional asteya. So, not exploiting people emotionally, that is emotional asteya. Now, let me give you some examples. We have done this. Okay? We have done this a lot of times. A lot of times we have known people who just talk to us for their benefits. A lot of times we have known people who manipulate us emotionally, who have excessively dependent on us, excessively. Like, if you don't pick their phone, they'll start quarreling with you. They'll be angry on you. They have like excessive dependency, and it happens to mainly people who are therapists. Their patients, they develop this excessive dependency on you. On top of that, I have also seen a lot of families doing that. Parents have that excessive dependency on the kids, and many a times it is vice versa. Kids have excessive dependency on the parents, and both is wrong. What also is wrong is demanding constant attention from opposite person. And this might shake you a little bit from inside. What is wrong is possessiveness in relationships. Possessiveness for someone, possessiveness for an object, anything. Your feeling of possessiveness is wrong. That is one of the key part of emotional stealing. So then what is the solution? Solution is very simple. You need to respect other people's boundaries and your boundaries. You need to develop your boundaries first for that. You need to develop an understanding towards that. You need to develop an emotional independence. And you need to communicate all these things honestly. Ahimsa and Satya comes first, right? So by ahimsa and by speaking truth, you need to communicate all these things honestly. Because if you practice honesty here, that will also help you to gaze through what kind of boundaries you need to establish in your life. Most of us, when we are sad, we love to blame other people for our sadness, for our emotional instability, to be more precise. If we cry over things because people might have insulted us, people might have spoken ill about us, and all those things collectively is an evidence that we are emotionally dependent on others. Two emotions which you should avoid altogether in your life. First is guilt. Second is regret. It might sound similar, It might mean different, but energetically they are different. The origins might be because of stealing, but the way it happens in your life is very different. So when you are honest enough, when you have healthy boundaries, then emotional stealing disappears. Reflect in with your life. Have you been doing that with people? Have you been expecting things out of people? Is it wrong expecting things? Obviously, it is way too much wrong. Why it is wrong? Work on yourself, focus on your life. Don't think about other people, including your family, like that. If your duty is to provide, you provide and you be detached. Think about it. I know there will be a lot of questions, but wait till we complete. Let's move ahead to the third level, mental asteya. So, what do you mean by mental asteya? It is not actually stealing, but the simple meaning is stealing through comparison, judgment, enviousness, and jealousy. So, I'm not saying that you should be not aspiring to become a better person, not aspiring to become rich. But just because someone else have bought that car or bought that house or is married, don't feel that insecurity that you also need to possess the same thing. That is what happens with most of the people. I have seen people that see people who are billionaires, and they have a PR marketing strategy and everything. Okay, they might follow something. So there are few things which might work for them, which might not work for you. Even if you follow their routine, it does not go. It is not going to make you a billionaire because you are different. You need to look at your purpose of your life. Just because someone is rich, that's the reason I want to be rich. Aspiring to be rich is fine, but you also need to convince yourself. A lot of times people tell me that because I was insulted back in that day, that's the reason why I started working hard on myself. Constructively, he that person started working on himself and became rich, and now he owns the same car what that person does. So then he asks me this part, that don't you think this is development or evolution? So I said, in one way, you can see that as an evolution, but in the other way, you can also see that your stubbornness and this extreme form of jealousy has resulted this. So then he's like, how can you be sure? I'm like, you look at yourself deep down. I don't need to prove you about anything. But are you really happy and satisfied with what you do, what you have done? If you are satisfied, then that satisfaction should be at least there for 120 days or let's say 90 days. So he's like, that is impossible. I'm like, no, it is not impossible. It is possible. You just need to reflect on that part of your life. And then exactly after around 2 months, so maybe around 60 days or 55 days later, that guy came to me again and he told me that, Janmesh, I do feel sad from inside. The reason is not this of constant comparison, but reason is that he does not feel joy anymore. So it does not matter what kind of money you possess. It does not matter what kind of car you drive. But unless and until you don't have this inner peace within you, it is very difficult for you to even cope up with normal things in day-to-day life. So to be more precise, obsession over others, obsession over things and people, coping up out of insecurity. Like, for example, I have seen people faking things. I know people who don't like coffee, but they drink coffee. Why? Because they want to be accepted in a part of society. I know people who don't like to smoke, but when they started doing their job in a corporate office, they wanted to be accepted, so they started smoking in the parties and everything so that they get promotion. All these things is result of your insecurity. It might be true, it might not be true, but it should not matter. If you are working your things in day-to-day life, then nothing should matter. All these things comes under mental level of stealing. Even jealousy and enviousness at a very subtle level comes in mental level of stealing. You should not do things just because you are unhappy when you see other people happy. This happens mainly with best friends. This happens mainly with parents. I have seen this constant comparison of parents when they compare their kids. When they compare the academics of the kids, when they compare how much my kid is earning or what not, what kind of car I am driving. I've seen them. This is coping mechanism. They also many a times put in their thoughts forms and their conditioning on the kids, burdening that person, and eventually if the kid many a times walks away, and then they are resulted like their hearts are shattered and all these things, that it happens. So why does it happen? It happens because you are constantly trying to cope up of insecurity of your limitations, and you start obsessing over other people, and this is very common. So, like, I have seen people obsessing over film celebrities, or maybe gurus also, including everyone. Don't think that that's love and devotion to your guru. That is obsessiveness. Why there is obsessiveness? Because you are insecure. Why there is insecurity? Because of stealing. Because you are not satisfied with what you have. So at a subtle level, mental stealing is something which we kind of do, but we are not aware about it. And hence, what is more required in order to overcome this part is practicing gratitude, knowing your self-worth, and contentment. So contentment, the other word of contentment is what? Having santosh in your life. Santosh is not a person's name. Santosh means to be satisfied with what you have. Okay. So if you want, you can take some time and think about it. And then we'll move to something very important. Something which we actually do constantly. Let's move to the next topic. Fourth is time. Stealing of time. What does it mean? Simple thing. Respecting other people's time and energy. How actually we are doing that, or how actually we are not doing that? Most of the time, people are late for something. Wasting people's time unnecessarily. Unnecessary drama in your life. And when someone is speaking, okay, it is very subtle form. When someone is speaking, constantly interrupting them. And somewhere down the line, in all this part, you are stealing the time of a person. Maybe you're talking too much with a therapist, or all those things. You have to be very, very mindful about the stealing of time of others. So when you give someone an appointment, when you are there to go out, or when you know that, okay, this thing is going to happen at this time or something like that, you have to be prepared. Now the problem with us is we are never on time. Either we are too much before or too much late. It's never on time. And the reason why it is happening is because lack of planning. Also, this is a habit what we have built up across the years. Because we have seen people not do starting things on time. So we have the tendency to avoid it and to be late. Most important factor, never ever give your payments late. If possible, make sure you're doing your payments on advance in time. Never ever talk with someone with respect to just doing a time pass. You're stealing that person's time. If that person is very busy, if the person chooses this part, then that's a different story. But if person is very busy and you just want to pretend it that life is difficult for you and you want to move on, do something. So you need to respect the opposite person's time. And most of the time, wasting other people's time is something which is very innate for all of us. So for example, there is someone at your door, okay? And you take some few more minutes to open the door because you know that person is not going to go anywhere else. That's not right. That's not good. You're supposed to open the door right away. Why? Because that person is working constantly. You're not supposed to do that. On top of that, what I have also come across is a lot of times, we make people wait. I had one friend, and she just told me that we are going to meet here at 6 p.m. So I was like, okay, I'll be there at 6 p.m. So I went there at 6 p.m. and there was no one, like none of the other people, and like she was not my friend, but she was a colleague from my college, and we had a project together. So I was like, that let's do the project first, and I used to stay far from the college, so my travel time was at least 2 hours from the college. So this that was kind of weird for me, because then I have to like go through all the local trains and everything in Bombay. Okay, so it was difficult for me. She and two other people. So two other people actually came at 6:30, that is half an hour late, and she came at 7:15, 1 hour 15 minutes late. I was very upset. I didn't say a word during that time, but while leaving, I told her that you are not supposed to do this. And by the way, she was living just 5 minutes away. And somewhere down the line, I never met her again ever. And I told like, I'm not interested in doing. If you want, I'll do a project by my own self. But this is not how it works. And later on, few years after, she suffered a lot because of that. You might possess every worldly desire what you have, but if you waste someone's time, it is going to come back to you in whatever forms. Trust me. Then, when you want someone to meet you, or when you want a meeting to happen, when you want your payments to be on time, everything, everything might get delayed, because that's how the law of karma works. And that's the reason why you are not supposed to steal someone's time. Is this clear? So, what is the solution? It is like being punctual, communicate clearly. And see, if you're late, it's fine. You just call them up and like, see, I'm a little bit late. I'm really sorry for this. I didn't do proper planning. From next time, I won't be late. Simple. So clearly values other people's time, and also clear value your own time. Is this part clear? Let's move ahead. Energetic stealing. So if you see, you will come across a lot of people whom you meet, you will feel drained out. Don't be that person. Not draining others' energy is something what you need to practice. By the way, draining energy is of lot of reasons. First and foremost reason is attention seeking behavior. You will find that. Second is constant complaining behavior, constant drama in life. In spite of things going very smooth, still the people are having complaining. Constant complaining. If everything is going good and they are like, this government is not good. This is not how the thing should be. No, people should not eat street food. Like, how does it matter to you? If you don't want, you don't eat. If you want to change government, then you do something when you vote. Don't sit and do and criticize all these things. Constant complaining. Using spirituality as a status, as a glamour. I've come across this so many times when you talk with someone and you're like, it's not good for my energy. I'm like, what is not good? Interacting with people is not good. Are you insane? Interaction teaches you one main quality of having patience and knowing what discernment is. These two main qualities in your life are going to be taught by other people. You need to understand this part. And the same time, you are looking out for validation, constant seeking, and emotionally exhausting. That part when you actually talk with someone, you feel like I need to eat something or I'm going to sleep. All these parts is nothing but energy stealing. So, how to avoid this? First and foremost, become self-aware. Cultivate an inner stability. Learn to establish healthy energetic boundary. If you have someone like that, cut them out of your life. This is very serious. Attention seeking is a behavior which is kind of practiced all across, and you will come across so many people. So many people, they think that they are just entitled to be important. Why? Just because they have born on this planet. Nonsense. Stupidity. And all these things, these small subtle things will come back to you, and it'll bite you so hard at that time when you are at lowest of your point in your life. At that time, the stick of the karma will hit you. It won't make any sound, but deep down inside, you will feel shattered. This is very important. So most of the times, in spite of the warnings and everything, you don't listen unless and until the stick of karma is on you. I remember I also did something similar, like I always respected people's time and energy and everything. Okay, I never did uh, any normal way of stealing, but I was constantly comparing myself with other people. And that is one of the way I shouldn't be doing it. So that was mentally I was stealing, so it was like that. I was never towards stealing of credits or something like that. But I was always with this respect that I have, like, I used to see people because that was taught to me since childhood. Like, obviously, it was not taught by my parents, but it was taught by the society, it was taught by the school, that always keep the company of children who are good in terms of academics. You will also become good. Nonsense it is. That only proves that you are walking in your life with their shadows. And most of the people who are thinks that academics is related to intelligence and intellectualness, stupidity. No, it is not. I hope this energetic draining part is clear. And you will come across a lot of people like that. So you need to learn to have your boundaries. And many a times, if even the phone comes, please don't pick up. Don't worry. You do your something productive. So then you need to have a priority that what should you do. Okay. So let's move to another topic. Sixth topic, that is intellectual stealing. So intellectual stealing actually means that copying someone's some work without giving them any credit. Stealing of ideas, taking credit with respect to the teamwork, with respect to certain things. So how will you solve this? Respect other people's creative ideas, respect other people's ideas, give credit, appreciate the original content creators and original creators, practice integrity. Integrity is should be very natural to you. And when you do this, things will change in your life. Then comes spiritual stealing. So how come spiritual stealing is there? Think. It's many a times I have come across this part that when you have like small experiences, you think that you're already illuminated soul. When you have, so I have come across a lot of people who think that they are spiritually advanced. So what they do is there are a lot of seekers out there with respect to spirituality. So they manipulate the seekers. They tell them that this is the QR code. You make a payment on this. I'll initiate you in the Kriya. I'll initiate you in this and that and Shri Vidya and XYZ. They also use the teachings for controlling masses, controlling people, or controlling their egos. This is not right. By the way, the cost of this comes back to you like a million times. Never ever exploit someone spiritually. Never ever break their trust when they are trusting you on terms of spirituality. You tell them that, sorry, like, I don't know, please seek somewhere else or seek advice from something else. Do not impose your ideas and ideations also. Do not tell people and promote something like, oh, you should do this. That's the reason why you are suffering. You should meditate. No one has asked your suggestion or opinion. Keep your mouth shut. Just because the way you say this statement, just because you don't meditate, from next time they won't look at your face, and they have already developed an hatred towards meditation because of you. So the Oscar award for them developing hatred for spiritual path and meditation goes to you. This is absolutely incorrect. Because now look at the law of karma. You have stopped someone's spiritual progress. What will happen? What do you think? So then, how to rectify this? Always and always be humble. Practice humility. You need to do this one aspect, which is known as swadhyaya or self-study, for inquiring self where you are, where you stand. Know your roots. with time you will know yourself. So if you know it is very problematic for you to be humble, then you look at people who are evolved spiritually. Always look up and see, oh, they are so evolved. It'll take so much of time for me. It'll ground you, but at the same time, it'll also cause a depression. So you have to balance it out. Because based on the law of extreme, we have a tendency to I do either this or this. We are never on a middle path. So Lord Buddha, on top of his voice, on all the sermons, he always said middle path, middle path, middle path. And still we are lacking in that path. Okay. The last but not the least is a kind of a stealing which happens without our awareness. That is, a lot of time we have this existential crisis. So what happens to a person? There is a constant craving for validation. There is overconsumption of resources. There is addiction, which they validate. And they don't have ever that feeling of satisfaction because the heart centers are not expanded. How can we do that? Like, how can we change it? So by meditation, by practicing gratitude, self-awareness, and realization of who we are in a true sense. So in the core, simple understanding about all these things, Asteya is not don't steal objects. It also means don't steal peace, don't steal energy, don't steal trust, don't steal attention unfairly. Don't steal from yourself by living unconsciously. Asteya is living with such inner fullness, inner awareness, that you no longer feel any need to take what is not naturally yours. Is this part clear? Take 10 seconds. In your head, think about this once. Okay. So when we spoke on that jewels part, like that there is ratna. Ratna means jewels. So what actually ratna means? It does not mean that there will be shower of like gold coins and gems on you. Ratna means jewels. Symbolically, it represents the jewels of spirituality, the wisdom. Okay. Those are the jewels which are required for your siddhis, for your spiritual progress also, and for spiritual powers. So many a times this thing is oftenly misunderstood with relation to material world, but it's not that true. This jewel symbolically includes wisdom, peace, trust, opportunities, spiritual insights and spiritual evolution, harmonious relationships, energetic abundance. So when the greed ends, life flows naturally. People usually trust such a person and the energy flows towards them. Support from anywhere, it comes to them without putting any effort. Because now they no longer violate this ultimate law of stealing, non-stealing. I hope this part is clear. So if you actually see this part in a very subtle way, like by the great people who have told us a lot of things. So when we talk about, let's say, all the masters, all the great masters. So Master Choakoksi also spoke a lot on this part, and he also spoke on like non-stealing at a different levels. Also, he has told us to practice gratitude and also share a part of our income as tithing, as donation to organizations who are doing betterment of humanity. Okay. Then Swami Vivekananda. So Vivekananda, he is usually on the strength and the power aspect, where Vivekananda he is actually telling you that with strength you can remove the greed. Sri M always tells you to observe, and with subtle observation of your emotions and psychological stealing, what you have from within, it can be removed. Swami Shivananda Saraswati has a little different perspective. He's like, live your life honestly, simply, and generously. Ramana Maharishi has this higher level of truth. What, always when you come across Ramana Maharshi teachings, you will always come across the part of self-realization. So he's like, what lacks within you, you need to realize that. How can you realize that? By realizing your true nature. So everything boils down to self-realization. Okay. So let's quickly go through the practices which we can do for mastering over this aspect in our life. So first is gratitude practice. So gratitude practice is what? Gratitude means something what you have already. You express love or you express thanksgiving to the universe, to the God, or to the people who because of which what you have. So what actually happens, within your system? When a person is actually grateful or expressing gratitude or even feeling the gratitude, the energy body changes. It weakens the greed aspect. The greed energy within you is kind of, dissipated. Moreover, it weakens to such an extent that now it is very easy for you to remove it. So gratitude weakens greed. Second is observe yourself, especially related to comparisons, enviousness, jealousy, insecurity, that also without judgment. Third is when you practice generosity. So you need to practice generosity in terms of giving time, kindness in your words, attention, even service towards humanity. So what actually happens is generosity dissolves that particular feeling of stealing what you have, the stealing consciousness which is built up within you. Once stealing consciousness which is built up within you and the greed both have been dissolved significantly, then you can actually do your purification. So also you need to establish your boundaries. So respect others' energy. Do not dominate them. Do not emotionally manipulate them. And last but not the least, you need to sit with yourself for some time. And you need to be aware of your thoughts and emotions and the desires. And then when you are aware about that, you will understand what you lack. Because everything comes from this part. It's something in you which is missing. That's the reason you are trying to compensate from outside. This is the ultimate technique or the ultimate reality. Okay. With this, we finish the theoretical aspect of non-stealing. So I would like you to encourage every one of you to go and look forward to all these levels of stealing and try to write down things what is happening in your life and how you can improvise this part. Like, for example, how you can serve better, how can you serve smartly, all those things. Especially with respect to tithing. Tithing is not merely money, it's also your time. So this is a statement by Osho, Rajneesh Jain. So when you take initiation into his school, there is one audio track which is usually played. I'm not too sure that whether it is played every time or not, but as far as things are concerned, I have heard that once. So in that audio track, Osho is saying that from today you take a vow. You take a vow that you are going to practice tithing. Tithing in terms of what? How many hours in a day? 24 hours. So 10% of the day, which is 2.4 hours. So 2.5 hours you are going to invest in meditating for God, because that is what you can do. What you are in terms of what God exists. That's how Osho says. And because of that reason, when you actually look at his teachings, it actually makes sense. It's every time when Osho speaks, something within you is destroyed. And that's the reason why people hate him. So the reason is different. So if you really want to establish this part in your life, I think in every time, once a week, like Look at yourself, 2.5 hours, or do you practice meditations and you're like whatever you are doing, excluding the service aspect, huh? You see that part. At least you need to spend 2.5 hours in a day just thinking about yourself and God. That is very important. What next? Your time. The time you have given to God and everything. Then the time, there is a lot of times you just need to sit and listen to someone. That's it. People don't require your advice or suggestion. They just want someone to listen them. That's it. And that is the law of karma. So my mentor, Mr. Dinesh Patel, he tells me this, that he asks me, he knows that I read a lot of books. So he's like, Janmesh, what is the greatest donation on the planet? So he's like, according to the scriptures, what do you think? So first up is like, Kanyadan. Kanyadan is like giving your daughter to someone for marriage. That is one of the dans which is mentioned. So the father of a daughter is the luckiest man on the planet. That is what Sanatan Dharma says. So Kanyadan, because only women can adjust and she can hold on to a family. She can make house a home. That quality only women has. That is what Sanatan Dharma says. So I told him like, okay, Kanyadan. And then he's like, what is more greater than that? So then I came up with another topic of Advait Vedanta. So when you look at the Vedanta philosophy, so Vedanta philosophy is divided, like it's not divided, but it says first that when you feed someone physically, you generate good karmas. Okay. So that is like one level. When you feed someone with teachings and knowledge, that is another level of good karma. But the ultimate good karma is when you talk or when you spread the light of God in someone, and you let that person to feel the God, to know about God, to start his journey or her journey towards spirituality. That is the ultimate dan what you can do. And then there are like a lot of other dans. Okay. So I spoke on things, and I spoke for like half an hour. And he's just looking at me like, very good, very good, very good, very good. And then later on, he's like, no. And like, what is the Mahadan? Say. So he's like, Kan Dan. So Kan means your ear. Okay. And Dan means donation. So he's like, for some time, you need to just listen to someone rather than speak, and speak. People don't require your advice and everything. They just want someone to hear them out. So if you cannot do anything like that, just hear them out. Simple. I was like, it's no use of me taking degrees and doing masters in neuroscience and all these things. This guy always tells me something which is like so profound in nature. At the same time, because when you study so much, many a times you forget to look from a different lens with respect to what is actually happening to planet Earth or what is happening to lives. And somewhere down the line, I think grounding is something which is required for all of us. We might talk about God and everything, but our action does not speak about that. So this is a time for us to be in that state to actually practice this part very straightforward. Okay. So with this, we shall go towards the grid invocation part. I hope you can see the screen. Yeah. So just tune into the grid invocation. All the knowledge with regards to stealing, non-stealing, like your perception with regards to stealing will be dissolved. And non-stealing shall be established within you. You form a good intention with respect to that. And also, then you are supposed to radiate that energy towards the entire planet Earth. Because not only you want to develop in terms of non-stealing, but also you want to radiate that energy to entire planet Earth so that people don't steal. People don't do these trivial things. Because to be more precise on a higher level of truth, if you see, there is no difference between you and me. If I steal from you, I'm stealing from myself. Whom I'm actually stealing from? If you feel ever in your life, if you feel happy in other people's happiness, you're a blessed soul. Mark my words. You're a blessed person. Simple. So now look at the grid invocation picture. Once, just tune in your energies in the grid invocation picture. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue to your palate. Raise your hands in front of your heart in the blessing position. Visualize the planet Earth in front of you. Take a deep breath. Slowly and gently exhale. Take a deep breath. Focus your attention on your crown. Visualize yourself becoming bigger and bigger. You're as big as planet Earth. Now you're becoming more bigger inside the space in the cosmos. Your palms are so big that they can fit the entire planet Earth. So, Earth is like a small ball in front of you. What you're actually visualizing is the actual planet Earth in front of you. Keep your tongue to your palate, keep your eyes closed, be still, be aware. Just follow my words. Mentally, you can repeat after me. Try to visualize as far as things are concerned, as far as it is possible from your end. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. Focus your attention on your crown, on the palm. The energies are coming out of your palm. going on the planet Earth. They are going through you. You are just an instrument. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve, let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve, let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve, let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teacher return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend on earth. Let light, love, and power descend on earth, manifest and restore the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, so it is. Gently, keep your hands down on your lap, palm facing upwards. This divine energies, divine light of God falling upon you is an intense waterfall of divine energies. Each and every cell of your body is vibrating in the frequency of the divine energies. Your entire bodies are filled with divine energies. Each and every cell of your body, each and every particle of existence is filled with divine energies. You are like a pipeline, you are like an instrument. These divine energies are flowing out of your palms, it is flowing out of your legs, it is coming out of even your tailbone. Now start radiating this energy throughout your room, your house, your entire area, to every person, every being, even non living objects. These energies are easily able to penetrate through the walls, through the deep, deep earth, entire town or the city. Also visualize wherever these energies are penetrating, all the people, all the beings are also becoming an instrument. Even their entire existence has started vibrating at the frequency of the divine energies. They are also being able to feel the love of God. It's radiating through the entire state or the province, the entire country, entire continent, entire planet Earth. It includes every person, every being, even non living beings and non living objects. Feel the stillness, feel the bliss. Take a deep breath. Put your hands in front of your heart in Namaste position. Mentally, you repeat after me. Salutation to the Supreme God. Salutation to Divine Father, Mother. We, the souls, humbly express our gratitude for this wonderful experience, for this wonderful understanding. Thank you. To all the great ones, to all the spiritual elders, all the great, great ones who have descended on the planet Earth, to our beloved Grandmaster Chua Foxy, Lord Mahaguruji Mele, Buddhakwani, Buddha Shakyamuni, to all the holy masters, holy gurus, archangels, healing ministers, to violet devas, we the souls express our gratitude for this wonderful insight, for this wonderful understanding. We absorb this wonderful energies within us. We embrace it. Thank you for everything. Thank you. With thanks and in full faith. Thank you. Take a deep breath. Hold. Now you can also visualize that you're internalizing the energies within your system. Slowly exhale. Inhale slowly. Hold. Slowly exhale. Slowly and gently open your eyes with a smile. Hope you feel good. So after this session, kindly do not take shower for at least 8 hours. And you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also go through a lot of videos with respect to the similar kind of content what we create. And if you have some queries, some doubts, or even if you want to know about pranic healing or hatha yoga, look in the description box. You will find a WhatsApp number and you will find an email ID. Feel free to drop us an email to chat. There will be always someone who will respond to you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for this lovely session. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you. We are grateful to you.